Well, hello everybody.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. It's Kuumba
Writing
Kickback time.
Woo!
Are y'all ready to get writing? This
Am
is our
I
quick.
ready?
Well, I'm
ready.
low key. Like, I'm just gonna admit it right now because I know I'm not gonna be able to coordinate it well. But like, for y'all just joining, y'all know we're here for a writing sprint. But for y'all just joining, you may not know. For y'all just joining, y'all know we're here for a writing sprint. Sorry. You may not know that I have a bum wrist, as I've been calling it. So, like, I have a brace, but for aesthetics, I didn't want to wear it the whole time. So, like, I'm somewhat ready to write.
Listen, the whole point of this is to, like, be in the process, and some of that, especially for y'all too, real, y'all. Is wrist
includes,
struggle.
I say, like, that includes taking care of yourself. Like, we didn't like introduce ourselves, but
yeah, we didn't.
If y'all got like injuries, please put on whatever support you need before we partake in the writing thing. So
as soon as the sprint starts, I'm a brace up, but I'll probably forget to take it off. It's going to be too much work, but I thought I'd try to balance the aesthetics. So, anyways, as she just said, my name's Delia. I'm the marketing manager for Black Girls Create. Sometimes writer.
Depends. Don't lie. Do not lie.
A writer.
Do not lie.
Sometimes writer. Okay.
All the time. Right. You are a writer. Period.
You're a writer.
I'm a writer who frequently writes, infrequently finishes anything. Welcome.
That's fine.
That's all of us. Well, that's me. That's not Bayana. Hi, I'm Connie, managing editor of Black Girls Create. And, I was like, I'm going to be the managing editor so that I can edit other people's finished work and not have to worry about mine. So, but I also am a writer. Like, literally, my day job is a writer, which is pretty cool and crazy to think about. But today I'm writing some fiction.
I'm Bayana. I am co-founder and editor-in-chief of Black Girls Create. I write a lot, not like recently, but that's why I'm really excited to be here so I can actually do some shit.
Okay, recent is relative for anyone watching.
Because I write often. Like that's like a thing that I do. I'm not doing this, or my like other job. But the last like week or two has not been productive in that way. Productive in other ways, but not in the writing way. And so I would like to get back to that. So I'm really excited to do this.
Also, I think it should just be noted. We often, you guys may be joining just for the Kuumba Kickback, and that's cool. Welcome. But we try to have these writing sprints pretty often. But in the time of COVID, it's been hard. It's been hard for everyone. So, like, if this is your first foray back into writing after a big break, welcome. We're all going to get through this together.
Truly.
Yeah, for sure. What are we all going to be writing? It can be various levels of like spoilers, Like,
yeah, I have to. Mine literally cannot be spoiled too much. Although I don't know, I'm writing for someone in the community. It's overdue, but because of my wrist injury, I've had to delay it. So I'm like, look, I'm going to be here for the sprint anyways. Let's get to writing. It is fan fiction. But
I was like, do I know what this is? But now I know. I do know what this is.
You'll get it. She already. Oh, wait, I just realized she doesn't even vaguely know what it is about. So, like, I can only say so much. Maybe I should write something else. I don't know. I'll use code names, maybe. We'll figure it out as we go along.
I am working on a short story, which I, like, 2 months ago, I was like, I don't have any, I've never written a short story before. I don't know how short stories work, outside of fan fiction, of course. At least not since like creative writing class forced short stories, but I had a short story idea, and it is steeped in Blackness, and it is inspired by a video that was going around of a Black auntie taking off the plastic off of her furniture
I forgot that that's how this was inspired, but yes.
Literally how this started. And thanks to some brainstorming in the BGC Slack, I came up with an idea, and I'm gonna be working on that. There's ghosts, kind of, and young Black girls, and lots of references to very Black things that are universal to a lot of like American culture, I guess you could say. Although I think it extends to the diaspora, but like a lot of this stuff is just like, wow, we're all the same, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's no way that I can really explain what I'm writing in the next like less than 5 minutes. Like
explain in a way that me and Connie understand it, because I actually do not know what you're writing.
Oh, I mean it's Book of Descendants, but so it's a new story that I'm trying to work on while not thinking about the other story that I am currently have put out in something in the ether for things. So I'm trying.
If you're an agent, just hit us up. Just like slide DM us, slide in our inbox.
We only have 4 more minutes. But yeah, no, I'm trying to like do a draft. I'm like trying to do a draft of a thing. This will actually be the first time I'm actually like drafting during Quick Quills. Like any other time we've done Quick Quills, I'm like brainstorming or like plotting, outlining. And so this time I actually have like words to get out, but it's, magic and fantasy and shenanigans. So yeah.
I think that is something we should say. Sometimes with writing sprints, like it is very strictly like writing only. We, unless we say otherwise in other quick quills in the future, take the stance of as long as you're doing some part of the process of writing. I've outlined during these quick quills that has turned into drafting because it went so well. We've all edited during quick quills. So whatever stage you're at.
Oh, wow. So I've had the thought that like, oh, if the writing of one thing doesn't work out, feel free to switch to another thing, because I definitely owe Bayana, but really everyone, the last part of Blaze Array World Tour. So, if I finish this short story, wow, that's a crazy idea, or get tired of struggling, I will switch over to editing the last part of my Journey Through the Diaspora fanfic with Blaze and Desiree. So anyone in the chat watching who is a fan of that, which is also crazy to think about, feel free to hype me up to switch over, but also encourage me to create original things, because Lord knows I need to do that too.
I mean, both and. In the chat, Nicole says she's finishing her review for Lovecraft Country, which is lit, and like I'm gonna click it. I'm probably not gonna read it, but I'm gonna click it because I don't do horror. But I'm glad that you do. I'm glad you're getting your bylines. Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Deb says that she's writing the newsletter, which I would also love to see. Then she said, nah, fanfics. I'm like, are you writing fanfic? Or are you telling somebody else to write fanfic is what I need to know. So please follow up with that, Deborah. Bianca said she was procrastinating, but now she's doing what she's supposed to do. Stephanie is doing a pilot that is a rough draft. So that's interesting. And then Kay is doing Angelina Fred flashfic or Oliver Wood flashfic. Oh,
wait
yeah.
a minute. Hold on. Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a real character Oliver Wood flashfic.
Whew, okay. All right.
Oh, Deb is writing fanfic for My Hero Academia.
All right.
Love it. And she's in there and says she's editing her writing website to finally publish. Folks are just out here. Y'all got stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real quick before we start. Like, I am glad that other people are. It doesn't have to be fiction. Like, it could be nonfiction, whatever you're working on. Like, it's just the point is to write and get it done.
I've definitely worked on not fiction, so nonfiction while writing.
As some people may call it.
Not
as
fiction.
it may be known as.
And I saw Deb saying she just got her nails done in typings for the birds. I feel that if my wrist wasn't hurt, like I usually work out of a journal. I usually don't type, but writing feels worse right now. So like work out of a journal. Just because you're with us on this live stream doesn't mean you got to type it out. So do what works for you.
Also, I wish I had the weird adjustment period of put having nails back on. It's such a like I saw that, I was like, oh, tears.
Delia is holding it down for Team Clickety Clack in this here chat because I am also bare nailed. Even though my cousin at some point, perhaps after this live stream, will do my nails for me.
Yeah. All right, so I think it's time.
It's time,
guys.
First sprint. Y'all get ready to write. We're gonna play some music. If you have your own playlist, bump that. Do what you will. We're gonna kick off.
And we will see y'all back here at 5:30. So I guess 8:30.
Yes, I have no idea. Don't ask me math.
Yes, 8:30. We'll be back. And we'll be checking in on how to stay focused. So focus until then.
You are a function of this total galaxy. The real deep down you is the whole universe. And it's doing your living organism and all its behavior. It's expressing it as a singer sings a song.
Hey, y'all.
All right. We back.
How'd that go for everybody? Everybody say it out loud because we can definitely hear you.
Yeah, I'm okay. It took me a second to orient, but it feels like
I took a bit. Well, because I wrote these notes. Like I was working again. I usually work from a journal, but I hurt my wrist. Blah blah blah. I've complained about it enough, but you're gonna keep hearing about it till it gets better. But I started in a journal, so I had to like type it out. But also these were like very rough notes, and I couldn't read my handwriting because I wrote it so long ago. If I like read it recently, I'm like, oh, I know what this says. But this is like a month ago. I'm like, I don't know, girl. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, but after I got into the groove, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I just had to like remember what I was doing. It's been so long since, like I said, like it's been so long since I looked at it, and so I was just like, and I'm at a part where like I skipped something, and I'm really bad at like I don't really like writing out of chronological order, and so I skipped something. So now I'm like, okay, what's happening? And I skipped it because I don't really know what's happening. You know what I mean? So it just took me a second to like reorient myself, but I think the next one I can be able to like I can focus better probably.
Yeah. I got to a good spot. I was actually, the thing with these writing sprints is sometimes when they go really well, you're just like getting into the rest of your groove by the time like it stops. Like I was like in it. I was like, oh, and I know what I'm gonna do next. And it was like, oops,
Yeah.
sprint done. Which sometimes you could write through the break. I don't recommend it. You need the breaks, but I actually literally couldn't because I'd come talk to y'all.
Yeah. What about you, Connie? How are you focusing?
So one thing that
Oh, are you muted?
We can't hear you.
We'll take a second. Yeah. So
okay.
focusing
Okay. I'm in my back. There I am. Audio issues. So that's not focusing. But I think I do to focus is not get caught up in word replacement because I get stuck on thesaurusing a lot, and it's like, oh, I have to find the perfect word. And so there at one point it was like, were people with varying parts of her own visage. And I was like, that's not the word I want, but it's close enough. And so I made a comment note in Google Docs, like, this is not the word I want, come back to it later. So that I don't get stuck thesaurusing, because then I move on to another tab and then I'm like looking up synonyms and I'm like, ooh, what about that word and that word and that word? And then I get distracted. So I try to, I've learned in recent years, and I haven't always been good at this, is to try to push forward. Like certain things I feel like I need to get right the first time around, like to keep the momentum going. But some things I've learned to like, all right, I don't need this to be perfect for me to move forward. Where before I would have like completely derailed myself because I was like, I need to know what this name is. So that's one way that I literally found myself focusing in the last 20 minutes.
I have to so I have ADHD for those who don't know. And so like writing, it's like, who said that I should have ADHD but also like to write? Like what kind of combination is that? But so like the tricks I've had to learn to just get stuff written, because prior to doing these tricks, I would just like write in the most random spurts. There was no rhyme or reason. Like setting up my space to be focus oriented. Like I close out of all my other computer tabs. I don't like let myself open anything. Like I set the tabs that are open, and those are the tabs that are open. I don't get to open anything else, which includes a thesaurus or a dictionary.
See, and I can hear Bayana judging us because we are tab queens, you and I.
I'm usually a tab queen, but I've had to learn, like, if I'm writing, no, with the purpose of getting something out. I'm just big on, I used to be like big on thesauruses, but also just like trying to get the phrasing exactly right as I'm writing. And I learned from Connie, like the way to like just, I put like TK if I don't know what it is, but I don't even just like put TK just to fill in the blank. Sometimes if I like don't know the word exactly, or I'm like, I don't remember what I had them drinking, so let's put in orange juice for now, but I'll surround it by TK so I know like when I'm going through it, oh wait, hold up, let me double check that. And so I've really had to unlearn to like not double check myself on everything and just let it be wrong. Like as you write, you'll know it's wrong, but it's fine. You just keep going.
Yeah, it's so hard to do that, but with practice, because I still have lots of work to do in that area, but I'm definitely better than I was several years before. So
yeah, for me, I mean, I'm also just, I'm tired. It's been a week. So I think also for me, it's been just like getting through like the fog part of it. And I think like for me, I just have to kind of do it. And like music helps. I think for me, like with music, I listen to it. That's like, I often, more times than not, have some kind of like soundtrack to my life at all times. And so music definitely helps me. If it's quiet, then there's no way, like I'm just sitting here like, why? So the music helps. And yeah, I think it's really just like the starting of it. Like once I get into it, then it's very much like, okay, like we're doing it. And so what I also do is I do like the split. So like right now, because I'm drafting, I also have my outline up. And so I do like the split screen thing. But that also like nothing else, I can't see anything else on the screen. So that also helps because I can't like see the tabs and I can't really like, I have maybe some notifications will pop up, but I can mute those and then nothing pops up. So that also helps me focus. It's just like not having other things to look at.
See, this is where I like journaling. Like, I know it's not for everybody because it's slower and can injure you. But like, I like writing because I can't, like, again, for ADHD, like I have to have forcing mechanisms or else I will get distracted. I may still get distracted, honestly. Like, these are all just like measures to try and not get distracted. But like, because I'm in a journal, I'm not even online. Like, it's very hard to get distracted. Sometimes I still will be like, let me change this song real quick. And then it's 30 minutes later and I've been on Twitter and YouTube and who knows what else. But so that's a tip. If you have trouble just even with controlling your tabs, like try doing it in a journal or a spiral or kicking it old school. It may be the move for you. It's not for everybody, but it could work for you.
And while we have music going for y'all, Bayana, are you listening to our delightful lo-fi music right now?
She is not.
I am now. I just like I don't feel like doing more. My computer is doing enough.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
So,
but if
already
you listen to something else,
like, yeah, usually I listen to the most loud, like it depends on the mood, but like a lot of times, like more recently, like I've listened to a lot of Rico Nasty, like specifically. Like I just need somebody to be yelling at me. I don't know why that helps me focus, but for some reason, if somebody is yelling at me on top of like a fire beat, then I'm like in the zone. I haven't like interrogated why that is, but at the moment, Rico Nasty yelling in my ear is really like it. I'm just like, yep, you're right. I can focus now. Look at these words. So
yeah, I can't listen to stuff with words, but like I respect that feeling because if I'm like working, not writing, like that's the vibe. That's like definitely the vibe. I'm like, oh, let's go. So I feel that.
It also like maybe it's also like a hype up type thing too.
Yeah.
Where like you just get like, all right, yeah, we finna do this.
So if our lo-fi jams are not getting you in the focusing mood, don't spend too much time finding your new playlist because it's all about writing. But if you need a different vibe, if you need someone yelling at you over a fire beat, feel free to switch over to that. We'll have like, how long it is on the screen and you'll hear us when we get back. So keep that in mind also.
Yeah. So this next sprint is going to be longer. It's going to be 30 minutes. So, and then we'll check back in for another 10-minute break. You're going to be, hopefully you'll have more, chances to focus and like really zone in and move those fingers.
Don't get caught up in what you're writing. You're just getting words down now. Unless you're editing, then very much get caught up in all that.
In which case, pay very close attention to your word choice.
Right.
All right, y'all. We're going back in.
On the flip side.
See you in 30.
All right.
We're back.
It's time again. Back again for another break.
Another one. That was productive.
Yeah. Same.
That was better for me, for sure.
I've had a good balance of like writing, but also being distracted by like, you know, the admin work of doing this. So, and also other things that Bayana distracted me with real quick before, but I had gotten some writing in, so I felt better about, you know,
I got to a point that made sense to stop, and it was like 6:08. So I was like, well, I guess I was like, I don't want to like start.
I was like looking over to be like, is it almost time? Like, you know, we've been doing a little, like, we're almost ready to go back in our little private chat. So I was like, well.
Yeah, I had just gotten to a like real cute part. And so I was like, jot down random words so I remember this vibe because like come back. Because I was not actually quite ready, but it's fine.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Yeah, I'm still stuck in my world. So y'all want to talk?
Yeah, we have like
we were gonna share from what we've got.
Quotes anyone has that you want to share?
Yeah, you can drop them in the chat. I'm gonna look for a piece now, and I'm trying to decide if it's something that is
I'm trying to look for something
coherent or if it is something that is still super in progress, so everyone can just hear how ridiculous.
I have one that's not bad.
The writing process is?
As I was writing it, I was like, oh wait, this could be a quote. The rest of it around it is a hot mess. Look at this, Jim.
We'll get there later. Hold on. I had an idea. Okay.
Okay, wait. Whoever wants to go first. I found one non-spoilery quote. It was difficult.
I can go. Watch me read it out.
Go for it. Oh wait, I have to prepare myself because I have background for this.
It's not.
Okay. Okay.
I had on watch me read it out loud.
All right.
Actually. Anyway, okay. 0 bars. Okay. Everything in here has a past, a story either already told or waiting to be, a piece of history that the Ashes keep and read as others would the pages of a book. The masks of the ancients that hang on the walls, the drums that speak when played just right, the fabric that whispers as the air moves around it. There is a scroll here and there written in a language forgotten, but this isn't a library, holding one-dimensional tales of the past. The limitations of books don't belong here, which is why I'm surprised when I see a large book bound in leather sitting beside a bronze figure of Mama Aso in miniature. No, it's still a hit. That's cool. Because I wasn't.
It hits. It absolutely hit.
You're trying to let Bayana go. I'm mad.
The fabric. Oh my gosh.
I wrote that part in particular and was like, oh, okay, cool. Because when I tell you, that's when I hit my stride. So I have at least a page or two before that in which, yes.
0 bars.
I'm big mad about it, but it's fine. I mean, it is bars. It's kind of no spoilers, but
when you know,
it's when you know, you know.
Ooh, I'm ready.
One day I will also read the bars. You go, Connie, because we can't say anything else except bars.
Okay. So again, it's basically the last bit that I wrote. And you'll see, people don't got names yet, man. The main grandmother does not have a name. So yikes. Big Pete breathed out a big smoky puff. Name, in parentheses. Tell her about how we found out. Joni remembered Big Pete being a bit quiet, so his corner energy tracked. Better than how I found out, said an uncle, who Joni recognized from the family albums as Melvin. I got spanked by both my mama and my ancestor mama. You know that warm feeling you get? Joni nodded. It's more like a burning switch when a ghost whoops your ass. I didn't even spank you like that, Melvin. Don't lie. This was a relative Joni couldn't identify. Also, Joni had no idea where she had even come from. She wore clothes from about the early 20s and sniffed her nose in the air and sat down on the bench of the upright piano bench that sat along the wall. Don't listen to her. She's from the era before they believed doing that to kids was bad. I keep telling y'all they are too sensitive these days. She turned toward the piano and began to play a soft melody that left Joni wondering how someone who can make a ghost smart even in the afterlife could play such beautiful music. Melvin pressed his hand to his backside and muttered to Joni as he passed toward a small liquor cart in the corner. I still feel it whenever she gets too close. Joni could tell this was a conversation that they had had often just by their tones. Both of you hush, Mama said, focusing back on Joni. Pete and I bought this house in, parentheses, reasonable year to buy this house. Thought this room could be a dining area for when we have large functions, but cranky, in parentheses, Irina, something old and black, over there appeared to me when I turned the light on and told me about the function of this room and what it should be. Parentheses, Irina hit a sour note on the piano before going back to fingers dancing gracefully over the black and whites.
Yeah. I am super excited about this short story. I was excited when you came up with the
parentheses, because her name's not going to be Irina. I don't like it. But I don't got nothing else and I needed to move on. That movement thing, if you feel like something feels wrong and you're stuck but want to keep going, just you gotta put the parentheses in there or brackets or a comment on Google Docs so that you can keep going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. My quote is short for not trying to spoil. I should have picked something better to write, but this is what I needed to write. So sorry to y'all. Y'all will see it eventually, so you'll know when you know. Where was it? Wait, let me make sure that I'll just change the names if there. It's short.
Change the names to protect the identities of the
fake characters. Yeah. Okay. Why do you want him to leave? Because, she said indignantly, he's been here for hours, and after this week, I have a killer headache. I would just like one nice, quiet day in the shop. Correction, he said. He's been playing for hours and watching you. Shut up, Steve. That's it.
I know what it is.
She sure does.
Okay, we have like 2 minutes before our next break. So there's a couple in the chat. Bianca's is, so we just not going to talk about the fact that she was just a weasel.
I do real strong on that one.
I love it. Portia's is, okay, she has 2. So a feeling of desperation hit Helene like a ton of bricks. What if the Maroons had decided the area was too dangerous? And the other says they had more reason than most to hide away from the prying eyes of Bavers or anyone who could follow them back to their safety. Love that. Ready for, that reminds me, I need to have some editing to do. I'm very excited for that. Deborah's is, so I guess I'll see you later, she said coyly, sliding up to him. Like,
I just see Deb's eyebrows like just like jumping up and down. Like I already know.
And then Stephanie's is, Nick looks from Valentino to Serena to Maria, confused.
I'm also confused, but intrigued.
Portia
points out there's a lot of romance in this chat.
There is. I'd love to see.
Maggie's in the chat, y'all. I was right to do what I did.
I really ought to destroy yours and make you burn mine so that no one does see how bad a job I am at doing this.
Man, my whole vibe for this whole quick quill. So
DJ's, I design products, processes, and experiences to facilitate learning. These include infographics, instructional presentations, user manuals, and distance learning curriculum. You better brand yourself, okay? We love it.
And pluggity plug, come to our branding panel on Sunday.
Pew pew. Plug. Okay, last one before we go back. Kay has one. It says, which led him at present dressed in dark navy slacks and a crisp white shirt, walking into what he could only describe as an autumnal wonderland. First of all,
like to step
less.
Where are we going? I mean, I'm gonna pack.
I would like
I'm
to
so
go
tired of wearing
there.
I'm ready for the cool breeze, you know?
Man. All right, y'all. We have 25 more minutes.
One last sprint.
I
mean, keep the energy going after this, but one last sprint for now.
Yeah. So 6:45, and whatever that means to you on your time zones.
Y'all can math on your own.
We'll be
so 9:45 Eastern.
Whatever that is Central, whatever that is Mountain. Y'all got it.
All right, y'all. Let's do it.
One more.
All right. We are
All right.
back.
I very, very barely finished. I was like, real quick, I was like, type word ending sentence. Okay. Like, there's definitely like half sentences toward the end just because I was trying to get finished by the end of the
Yeah, I think I finished the chapter, so that was cool. These chapters are smaller than I'm used to writing, so it's like weird because I'm like, is that it? Okay, I guess.
by the like 7th edit.
So what?
I said it won't be by the 7th edit.
You don't know me. Relax. Chill.
It looks like I got 2 pages done, which is very cool. I had 3. Now I have 5. Technically I have 6, but part of the end of that is the like brainstorming. I just like dumped it at the bottom, like brainstorming outline of like what I think the rest of the story would look like. I don't know what the end is really. Well, I'm re-looking over my outline thing. Like, did I decide one? But like in the groove of the writing I was just doing, I don't know what the end is exactly, but it's short, so it's almost there probably. Yeah. Wow, I wrote 2 whole pages. That's wild.
Love it.
I did not know the ending when I went in. So like I came to the ending as I almost was about to hop over here. Like vaguely, but like I was like, I don't know how we get there, but we got there. I don't know if any of it's gonna stay in the edits, but you know, that's not the point of this when you're doing the first draft.
First draft is telling the story to yourself.
And I did.
Second draft is making it ready for other people.
I went from 0 to 4. I'm not really sure how that happened. I'm a little confused. Don't know what I wrote. I don't even have it double spaced. We don't know what happened, but mind you, it's not supposed to be that long. Well, I kept like in the middle. It's the formatting's all over the place. I told y'all I do not go back when I'm trying to sprint like for anything, and I noticed that I didn't set up the formatting. I was like, well, too late now. So like I would like put in page breaks every now and again, but it was more for my eyes than any grammatical anything.
I've only recently learned, and I just realized it's not on my personal account, it's on my work account, how to like the only thing that I need in a Google Doc, because that's where I work. The only thing I actually need in a Google Doc is for there to be a space between every paragraph. Right. And that's like the main thing. Other things can be changed or can come later, but I really need a space after that first after each paragraph, just for, like you said, the eyes thing. And now I have to realize that I have to format my paragraph styles because it uses my default style to have the paragraph break. Because for a long time, I didn't know the Google Docs could do that. And I was like, this is a basic Word thing that I miss. Like I don't miss using Microsoft Word in the slightest. I think I had to open it for work the other day and I was just like, what is this ghetto-ness? But Google Docs is perfect except for that one thing. And now I've remembered that you can set it, but I have too many Google accounts and I'm always working in one or the other. And so I don't remember to do them all consistently.
Yeah. I just need double space like most of the time.
I don't even double space. Mine is single space. I just need the paragraph.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess when I write fic, I write it that, I don't know why, now that I just thought about it, now that I'm saying it out loud. My formatting for fic and my formatting for, like, my other stuff is different.
Huh.
Not sure why that is, but it is. The font's different. I do I don't necessarily double space, but I do, like, break between paragraphs, whereas, like, if I'm writing, like, a book, then it's, like, not that, but.
Oh, because you're doing, I think you try to probably do it more in manuscript format. Maybe?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Just like as close as possible. But I don't do single spaced. I do 1.15.
Whatever.
Such a big difference.
Spaced, but like it's not double spaced. Like for when I'm reading like my original stuff, it's like double spaced. Like I go in there and I'm like 2. So yeah. But yeah, like good. Hopefully I can maintain that energy. We'll see.
Anyone else in the chat want to share while we find out other things to talk about while y'all decide what you want to share, how this went for y'all?
Like next time, if we do another live stream quick quills, like maybe we shouldn't have like a screen. We should just have us live, because like as I was writing, when I write, my process is I usually just like hear the voice of characters in my head. So like I'm really better at dialogue and that sort of thing. But if I don't have like a heading, like an outline I'm going off of, sometimes where we end up as a surprise even to me. And so I'll like be in the middle of writing the next dialogue and then I'll stop and be like, because I'm like, oh, they said what?
Right. The character starts
I'm not surprised as
what happened to me.
And that happened a couple times. I was like,
I was gonna say I go back and forth between just being like, or just being like, oh shit. Like I just start like dancing in my seat a little bit. So but
right,
I don't think. Like I think it's one or the other. Like I'm either looking at it suspiciously or I'm like, oh wait, that's bars.
I don't know that I've reached that level just yet, but I currently feel like bars, which is a good feeling. But even in this last section, I like wrote a sentence and was like, and now I realized, ooh, maybe there's beef between the two sides of the main character's like ancestry. Not like big beef, just like they don't like each other, just casually. Like I don't think it's a big deal, but it's just like one character said something, and then I was like, oh, it'd be cool if both sides of her family were there in the room and like represented some way. And then the like Irina, which is not her name, looked at the character like, all right. And then I was like, oh. And then the grandmother character who just died was like, if your mother doesn't convince your father not to sell my house. And I was like, oh, energy. So I'm very excited for that. Like, just like, it's again, not a big deal. They just don't mess with each other. And I love that for me.
It'd be that way sometimes. Like in real life. So
exactly. And I hadn't thought of that at all. So I had to like make a comment in Google, like insert tension between Mama and Joni's mother earlier, which would also lend to the two families not getting along in the afterlife overall.
Yeah, so I didn't make notes as I went along, but I already know stuff I have to fix. Like just, I almost spoiled it. I was like gonna say it, but these are two characters that I'm not like the most. Usually, if I'm writing, I'm either writing fan fiction of two characters I really love, or they're obviously my own characters. So like I can hear them really well in my head. Mm-hmm. These two characters I'm not as familiar with, and so I already know. Like as I was finishing, I was like, this one character is gonna need a lot of work because like he is not doing what he should be doing right now, like what he would realistically do. Mm-hmm. So I already know I gotta like go back through the whole thing and fix that, and also just in general fix a lot of just stuff that I was like TK blah blah blah, TK blah blah blah.
Again, Irina is
like a couple of names where like I paused and was like, am I gonna come up with these names? And then there was one that I was like specifically, I think I wrote down somewhere. And like there was a moment where I had to like pull up an old draft on my phone. But I don't know where I wrote this name down. So I like quickly searched keep, and when it wasn't anywhere obvious, I was like, just name, whatever. Like I just put like, I don't usually do TK. I'll just write in all caps, like name or something. Like sometimes I'll just be like, it smelled like something, like hella big.
Yeah. So you can't miss it when you're looking at it later.
Like this big ass thing, and I'm oh, yikes. So that I almost got derailed in that way because I was like, I know I have this name and it's somewhere.
The two biggest traps are thesaurus and names. There's two of the big traps in writing because they're so, it seems like they're so simple. Like, you know, a lot of us get caught up in like, well, I want to look into the history of this thing because it's set in this time. I was just like, oh, would a mother from the 20s say juju? And I was just like, just keep a note and figure it out later. Cause then I'd start Googling like, what were things that, you know, what did, the spirits probably. See, that's how my brain works. Like what would, I would start Googling that and then get way off base. And I was just like, just come back to it later, just like to get the feel of what I'm trying to talk about. So, but names and thesaurus are two of my biggest wormholes.
Yeah, for sure.
And yes, Portia, it is literally a Mulan ancestor scene going on, and I referenced it. Like I just referenced it. It was like one of the last things I typed, and I was like, I'm gonna go with it because it's exactly what inspired it, and the character's set in enough of a realistic world where she would have seen Mulan, because we should all have seen Mulan. It's great.
We do have, so in the chat we have a quote. More romance there. Somebody said earlier, I don't see it, but like why is it so romance heavy? And they said because it's COVID and we're lonely. So
I missed that part.
And like,
that was like,
I watched so many K-dramas and read so many fan fiction, written so much fan fiction. Like we're all out here. It's fine. It's a safe space. Kate writes, definitely. Do I love you? Though Garrett posed it as a question, it seemed to be a ritual that the couple had practiced when, when Katie answered back, as the moon loves the stars.
Uh-oh.
Right. Like my cheeks. I'm like, oh, uh-oh.
I'm always my sun and my moon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like this, like, oh my God. And also was like, yikes. I love it. It's very cute. I love it so much.
Looks like people got stuff done.
Nicole does the Jake Peralta moment of great. Which I guess is the summary of your writing, Nicole. I am concerned.
I mean,
but we'll get there. It'd be that.
Especially because this is a sprint. And like again, like you could be in any like phase, but all phases of writing would, I feel like, evoke that emotion. So
absolutely. Steph says she got so distracted.
Bianca says she didn't complete something, but she sees the light at the end of the tunnel. And girl, sometimes that is all you can ask for. Let me tell you.
Truly, I do see the light. I feel like I'm like right at the edge before I break out of the tunnel. So the light is shining real bright, and I'm just like, just get me there. It's a short tunnel. Like, that's all I need.
Maggie says she's right. Excuse me, Maggie. I'm writing like 3 quarantine romances, but have committed to none of them. I just need at least one, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean,
listen, if you need help deciding which one, we can help you. In these DMs,
right now.
We can help you decide and be like, put your energy on that one. And then now we then also know what your list is so that we can pester you about the rest of them. Ask anybody else in the chat. Me and Bayana. Doing that. So you working on that thing that we like to see?
That we love to see, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Yike."
Cool. We're like pretty much done, y'all. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm gonna be real honest, honesty hour. Like, I was way more focused knowing that, like, though y'all can't see me, and Bayana was paying attention, but she could see me on the back end, so I was like, I better be writing. Like, sometimes you have to take snack breaks and stuff like that, and that's okay, but you didn't catch me slipping today.
Right. I'm literally on the top bunk of a bunk bed that feels like it should not currently be a bunk bed anymore. So I stayed up here because I wasn't trying to go up and down and left and right and stuff. So that also helped me get some more writing done. Again, like I said earlier, I was like also, Twitter distracted and Slack distracted because, trying to keep up with what's going on over there. But I also got 2 pages of writing done, which is very cool.
Ooh. Yeah.
And we're so glad that any of you got some writing done. Because that was the purpose. And it's so nice to see so many of you in the chat.
I know Portia said she wrote a moment that she's proud of.
Yeah. And thanks for joining our first program paneling of our
right. I'm sitting here like normal, regular schmegular quick quills, but you know what? We just kicked off a whole virtual con. We are booked and busy this weekend.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining. We have more stuff in tomorrow and Sunday. The first panel tomorrow is at 11:15 a.m. Pacific time. It is Black and British media fandom. So talking about some British fandoms that aren't like Potter and Who. So that should be super cool.
Basically.
Yep. So that's the first one. That's the next one tomorrow. And then there'll be stuff all day, including trivia. And then Sunday, even more panels and
murder mystery.
Art on our website.
Guys, there's a murder mystery.
And there's a murder mystery. There's so many cool things happening this weekend. So hopefully, even if we can't make everything, because that, is a tall ask. But
we can't make everything. And it's our thing.
Where y'all tune into the stuff that you can.
And Sally, if you buy stuff, share it. I'd love to see it because you can only scroll through so much. I already got some bookmarks, but if I need to rearrange, you let me know. Say, hey, I found this art, so I can know for my walls.
Absolutely. Very much Absolutely. So. And remember, you can probably
more art. Y'all can see.
And remember, you can use this 2 hours. You can watch it at any time, along with all the other panels coming this weekend. You can watch them at any time. So if you ever just need a quick writing break and you feel like having someone with you would be helpful, but no one can be with you at the moment and write with you, whether virtually or in person, come back to the Quick Quills because it's the same format. And maybe you'll get tired of our advice, but we'll be here to be writing with you.
Yeah.
Period.
All right, y'all.
At Black Girls Create on Twitter. Go to blackgirlscreate.org/Kuumba Kickback.
All the things are there.
Pew pew.
All of them.
Bye, y'all. Guys.